Leo, then you are indeed in the right place. You are a glitch in the matrix, and just to confirm that, as I came out here to sit down I wanted to channel with Gaia, and I was sitting down, and the geese are out here with their six babies, and as soon as I sat down, the babies came running. They came running up to me, like, and so the parents came running behind them, and normally people would, run when geese and stuff are right there all up on you, but the babies wanted to come by me and eat, and it felt like a glitch because normally they run away from us. They don't run towards us, they run away from us. So six is the number of order, structure, discipline, and then it's two parents, which is the dichotomy, the on, the off, the up, the down, the opposites. If you were guided to be here in this session right now, and I really hope that this wind is not too bad with the microphone, but if you were guided here into this session right now, you recently started doing the opposite of something. The opposite of something that you've always known, the opposite of something that you've always felt comfortable with. And with that, it's had to take a different part of you. It's had to take a different muscle. You know how they say we have to use different muscles inside of our body or our brain in order to do different tasks. Ooh, see that wind? Oh my gosh. That wind is confirming a lot right now because it's showing just how powerful all of these changes are coming in right now, for the collective who are here in this space right now, who are connected to this energy shift, who are connected to this glitch. And so, what does it mean to be a glitch in the matrix? You peep the game, you peep the cycle, you peep the cycle that you were born into, the cycle that has been controlling your entire life. You have finally noticed it. And as you have finally noticed it, you're actively working in the opposite. And that's how the geese were confirmation to this message. Because the opposite is to not run, is to face it, is to go through with it, to understand the message and whatever is happening around you. And so now at this time of your life, you've gathered all the information, you've gathered all the knowledge, you've gathered all that you need. And now it's time to put the plan together. And that's the six baby geese, the babies, your project. What is your baby right now? What is it that you are desiring to create and do? Because it's different from anything else that has ever been done. It's different from anything that anyone else has ever seen. It's you who are meant to put it together. And so now that you have made the decision to go in the opposite, you've most likely started reading the Kabbalion and you've come across the principle of the opposites, the polarities, and you now understand that the cheat code to life is to follow your sacred flow. And if something is becoming too resistant, you have to identify what is the opposite that you have to do. And so, right now, as you've identified the major pattern, you're now identifying the way that pattern has affected other parts of your life. So, if your pattern was accepting less than your worth, I'm sorry, I'm just looking at the geese and I'm just sitting here still envisioning when the babies came waddling and running over here. It was so cute. They're like, Grandma, Grandma, Grandma. I was like, I ain't got no food for y'all babies. I just ordered some food for them and it's supposed to be delivered by tomorrow. And so it was so cute. But so say your cycle of programming that you had to break out of was not understanding your true value, your magic. So now you're going to be identifying all areas of your life that you are connected to that benefited off of you not operating in your highest value. So you have to sit down and take an inventory now. That's where you're at. We're taking an inventory of all the things that related to that cycle. And it's really interesting when you sit and think about it because so many things in our life can relate to one small thing. The next live conversation that we're going to be having in the membership area is going to be on healing that mother wound. And a big reason for that is because the mother wound connects a lot to your feminine energy, and your feminine energy is your gas to creating. your gas to abundance, wealth. And if there is some type of womb or breakage there, it then affects that growth, or it affects your ability to tap into your true feminine energy from an available standpoint. And so, this season, if you're guided here into this message right now, you're at a place where now you're doing the opposite of the things that didn't align with you. You're doing the opposite of the things that you realize were not pushing you forward. They were not helping you grow. They were keeping you stagnant. They're keeping you stuck in a place of comfort, and that place of comfort had no room for growth. So now you're identifying and creating space for growth to come. Because one of the things when it comes to expansion and abundance and prosperity, in which many always pray for, but we have to realize that we need to have an avenue for that abundance to come in. We need to have an avenue for that growth to come in, for that abundance, prosperity. So if there are no clear pathways for that abundance to come in, for that prosperity to come in, it creates a blockage. And so right now, there's a crow flying right now. It's another confirmation. I'm also hearing 111 and 333. And so now the season is about identifying all of the pieces that were connected like blockages due to its connection to that cycle of programming that you're no longer operating out of. And as we allow ourselves to do that, we begin to identify other areas of our life begin to shift. The cycles in our life shift. We then now create new routines. We create new cycles. We create new outcomes. This is a season of us creating the life that we want more than focusing on the things that we don't like. They're making their way back over here. So, this is a season of focusing more on what we want instead of focusing on the things that we do not like. Because where our attention goes, everything else flows, it grows, it expands. So, whatever you put your energy into, whether if it's us putting our energy into our hurt, if we're going to put our energy into our hurt, let it be from a standpoint to where we're working through and alchemizing it so that it's a healing situation for us and it creates more expansion. This season of your life, as you've gotten out of your programming that was connected to you since birth, um, this new alignment and this new shift comes with new mindsets and new understandings, new perceptions. And you're going to be testing the old ways of how you used to think. You're going to be tested in the old ways of how you used to do things. You're going to be tested to see, are you going to handle it differently this time? Or are you going to handle it the same way? Are you going to continue to go up when you're supposed to be doing the opposite and going down? Are you going to be going to the left? Confirmation. Oh my gosh, the camera just moved. Are you going to be going to the left when your spirit is telling you to go to the opposite and go to the right? And you know what that's telling me with that confirmation is that there are going to be tests, and you need to be reminded that there are going to be tests that come along to try to see if you have learned that lesson or if you are truly committed to these changes that you're making. So you're now playing, and you see the baby geese right there? Where my finger at? You see the, where my fingers so I can point them out. They over there in the corner, y'all. They making their way over there. But this is the season where you're being tested to see if you're really ready to play in the big leagues. Are you really ready to be a playable character? That's what it means to be a glitch in the matrix. You are now a playable character. You're rogue. You can no longer be controlled. You're not in the confinements of all the limitations of the system that you were once in. You are now swinging out of that energy. So, as you do that, the season is about tightening everything up. It's time to tighten everything up. like tightening up the screws, you know, going in, getting all the chairs, tightening up, making sure everything has its tune up and everything. Because this next season of what you're walking into as a playable character, you need to be ready for what's coming and how it's going to be coming. Now, of course, you can do it. Okay. You wouldn't be here if you couldn't. You wouldn't be at this part of the video if you were not called to be able to do it. It's just that now you're putting the action to the words, you're putting the movement to the understanding, to the knowledge. You're not just collecting knowledge now, but you're implementing that knowledge. It's like your internship, like your internship, the playable character internship. And many of you right now may be actually going into an internship within your life right now, or just learning something different. You're like an apprentice in something. Keep going. Don't stop. Confirmation. Okay. So that confirmation, what it's trying to say honestly, is that your past is going to keep trying to pull you back. So you have to be ready for that. You have to be ready, and with you being ready, you have to stay on the vibration 1111 of this shift that you're making. So what that means is that you need to be putting things, the precautions into place to be prepared. You need to be proactive before reactive. And that's what you're learning, that's what you're grasping, that's what you're internalizing. But even from this point forward, your algorithm is going to be totally different. What you're recommended is going to be totally different. What you're attracted to is going to be totally different because the way you see it is totally different. Your eyes, it's like you once viewed the world through a rose colored lens, and now you're seeing it through this altruistic. Oh my gosh, I don't even remember what the word altruistic means. Oh my gosh, I have to look it up now because it's going to be in my head until I know what it means. Altruistic. Showing a disinterested or selfless concern. Ooh, for the well being of others. So being unselfish. So this is giving, you're going to be having people come up to you asking you questions or like asking how you did something or what you do. Um, in that, share. One thing I noticed is that wealthy people, they were always open to giving information. They're always open to sharing the books they read, the habits they had to change, the mindset shifts they have. They always talk about these things, right? And the reason for that is that they know that the majority of people are not going to do it. They're not going to put in the work that's needed to be done internally for the shifts to happen because we're trained to look outside of us to fix it. And that's what this is giving, that you're now moving from not just being that student, but you're going to be sharing information. You're going to be helping guide other people, and people are going to be coming to you asking questions. So be prepared for that and be prepared to share, be prepared to help. All of it is in alignment. And so many of you have asked where my older videos have gone. They're all in the membership area or they are unlisted. Um, and that's for the shift. I have to follow what spirit calls to do. I'm not going anywhere. I am here. But I am also a glitch in the matrix for those who need me for this shift of where they're at as they've shifted out of a particular cycle. Now, if you are interested in learning your subconscious healing archetype, to learn how do you subconsciously approach life, where are you just the strongest at subconsciously, and connecting to just purpose driven energy, feel free to check out the link down below to a quiz that I created. And what you will find is that according to your results, you'll receive a personalized workbook at the end that's there to help you with processing through and expanding on that subconscious healing archetype. Now, that is a free workbook available to you, but then you also have the option to purchase my Healing Childhood Trauma Through the Subconscious ebook that is available only for those who take the quiz as well through the end. So feel free to check that out. And so I thank you all for being here, and I hope you all are ready for this ride that we are going on. Um, and be ready to work it out, just like, it's like a personal trainer of the mind, the body, the spirit. Be prepared to work it out. Be prepared to get it in. It's like training day. And so I thank you all for being here. And as always be real, always be true. Don't be afraid to do what your higher self and your spirit team is calling for you to do. Period. I love you all, and I'll see you later. Bye.